What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Tangent Podcast. In this episode, we're going to do a little something different. We just came back from Boston Fig, the Festival of Indie Games, Fig. And we are talking about all of the games that we played there. There's a bunch of just amazing indie titles and great devs there. And I think we're just going to jump into it and talk about the games that we liked, some of the games that we didn't like, and see what you want. But I'm your host, Brian Thomas, alongside the Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore.
What's going on?
And the politician himself, Brandon Cox.
What's going on?
And we're the podcast for the site pixelatedpoints.com.
Could have been Derek.
Yeah.
It could have been Derek. That could have been worse.
I have more hair.
Wow. Derek listens.
You call him the bald one.
I don't call him the bald one. Do I call him the bald one?
He's bald by choice. No, the nickname changed, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
back to Boston Fig. So Boston Fig is a great little place. I think this was the 6th year that they're doing it. Think of like a PAX East or any sort of gaming convention, but on a much smaller scale here in Massachusetts at MIT. So I think I will go first because I'm selfish. I think we are probably going to talk about Swim Sanity. So
that was a change. Wow. Holy shit.
I think Swim Sanity was one of the better games that I played there, and that's what I want to talk about.
Yes, it was.
So Brandon played with me, and it is a kind of similar to, it's an underwater shooter, but similar to Smash Brothers. So you can kind of go anywhere on the map, and you just have to shoot each other a bunch of times to kill each other. However, you can pick up like little power-ups, so you can pick up health, bombs that you can throw at each other, and then you can choose your special abilities. So, for example, my special ability was once you built up your meter, you could become a shark. And you can go anywhere up and down on the left or right side of the map, and swim across this as a giant shark and kill everybody. The objective is, within the 4 minutes that you're playing, there goes that shark that I was talking about, is to kill as many people as you possibly can.
To win.
To win
against the players,
Yep.
You're right.
You can have co-op. You can do. It looks like there's co-op story modes. You can do 4-player free for all, or you can do 2v2, things like that.
You're right. It is like Super Smash Brothers because I'm very bad at it.
Well, you were bad at it. Let's just clear this up. Yeah, you were bad at everything today.
Yeah, that's true. We got another game that he was really bad at too.
Well, yeah, I have a whole list of them right here.
Remind us.
But Steve, yeah, you're gonna want to pause that.
Because at the bottom, the listeners at home won't be able to see it, but at the bottom they have number tallies, and mine was 1.
Yep, I had 14.
So there's obviously a difference
drastic,
there.
But
I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a twin stick shooter, so we should probably mention that, where you're moving around with the left one, aiming with the right one, and you're just constantly shooting, trying to dodge, because there is like a dodge roll or a dodge spin to get out of the way because you're underwater the entire time.
Took me a little bit.
What was your special? Do you remember what your special was?
I had death from above.
Oh, so you had like a bunch of like little harpoons,
which
that shot
didn't work, by the way.
Well, all I needed to do was just hide under the
It's
not platform.
It wasn't as good as a big shark, so.
Well, yeah, I had a giant shark that just swam across.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just picked a better special. What can I say?
I enjoyed it.
I really had a blast. I came out of the gate hot. I think I went up like 9-1 at one point.
Yeah, I'm used to losing.
I ended up winning.
Actually
14. I think the closest other person was like 9 or 8.
Wow, holy shit.
But yeah, I kind of blew him out of the water. No big deal. This would be a great Let's Play.
I get it.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
I'm really good at the puns.
Yeah.
Not really. But Anthony, you didn't get a chance to play it.
No, I was going to ask you, so did they have the underwater mechanics? Like, did you float? It wasn't like the full...
It wasn't like, when people mistaken, like, if you're on ice and you kind of slide a little bit too long, it's not like that. You kind of slowly float. I feel like a lot of people that play that make underwater games kind of emulate sliding on ice when that's not really the feel to it.
It was more like space.
It's more like space,
gravity.
like you're
Correct.
floating.
So it was an accurate description of what.
Yeah, it felt like I was underwater. It didn't feel janky or weird. It just kind of felt right. Like if I was going up and to the left and I stopped moving, I would move just slightly. I wouldn't keep going.
So you're like planning the movement a little bit more.
I mean, suffice to say, it seemed like it was one of the better games we played throughout the entire thing.
I would say it's definitely top 5.
Not to shoot the other ones we're going to talk about in the foot.
Oh, we're going to shoot them in the face.
But it definitely was one of the more high caliber.
Develop
games.
games.
Play,
Yeah, it was very flushed out. It feels like it's already ready. I'm not sure. It seemed like it. I think they said 2019.
Yeah.
It was coming to Steam and I think PS4 and Xbox.
It felt like a AAA game because the guys there, I don't think they were like the other games where the developer and like the entire like.
No, it seemed like they hired a marketing team
Yes,
to explain.
yeah, so-
It was their PR. Their PR team was there. But yeah, that
That's
was
interesting.
Swim Sanity. I don't think there was. I didn't
Did
get
join
it.
the
They
tournament.
had them, but
They had a tournament at
There's a
4:30. I
tournament.
feel like I probably could have crushed that, but I didn't.
I didn't try it.
Didn't realize they handled that to everyone. Though. I thought it might have just been like, hell, you're the winner. Like
Yeah.
you can
That would have been smart. That would have been smart.
Ooh, here we go. There's a so
So
I don't
Brandon,
want-
yeah, you're going to talk about
Yeah.
Austin translation.
Yeah.
So
like
no one else
Lost in
played this,
translation,
so you
just
better give a
realized.
good explanation. of this.
So we were walking by and I saw this game and the name intrigued me because I asked the guy, I was like, "You talking about like Jane Austen?" Because the game it functions like a book,
Yeah.
right? So there's 4 chapters, and it's sort of like a. How
It's
could I
similar
describe
to
this?
like a turn-based strategy
it's,
game.
Yes.
But mixed with telltale mechanics where it's like,
Okay, yeah, I
what do you want to say here to this person?
Yeah.
And something and affects something else down the
Yeah.
line.
So essentially, you're playing a woman who's trying to find a suitor, much like the Jane Austen novels. And you pick different prompts, and you get different perks, or
So there's 3 different. There's wit.
Yeah, it's
there's
character-
wit, charm, and ruthlessness.
Yep.
And you have to use all those while also fighting against a bunch of other women who are going after 3
Suitors.
the
So
same
there's like
suitors.
5 bachelorettes,
Yeah.
and then there's
3.
3 suitors.
Yes.
And they're all trying to. You're actually kind of pitting one against the other.
Yeah.
But it can be a 5-player like co-op game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it random though? What the other 4 go after?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like you could all go after the same person.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
just, like, you know,
Yeah.
fuck
Based,
this.
I think based on what you do, they changed over the
Course
four
of the-
the 4 chapters. But yeah, I thought it was really cool.
It is a.
Interesting.
What was the game? Was it Eleanor that I liked
Yeah,
from PAX?
Eleanor.
Is it
It-
similar? Not that it's
no.
similar, but didn't it have like a?
It kind of had a. I think it's same time period is really.
Oh, that's why I'm.
Eleanor,
Yeah. Okay.
The gameplay was cool, but I was really more in love with the idea because you wouldn't expect to hear like a strategy game about Jane Austen. That's
Yeah,
just-
it's a satirical strategy game. It's a.
it's a-
I mean, it's a great concept for
Yeah.
sure, but I think it doesn't. The way that we played it, it demoed kind of poorly, right?
I would say that. Yeah.
It's one of those games that you really have to sink time into to really kind of enjoy the strategy behind it. And I think that it's hard to demo these types of games.
Well, it's hard when like one person wants to play like a certain like time limit wise as well. If they take longer to kind of like if it's one single player, then you have to set up multiple so multiple people can play. And then if he wants to keep playing,
I think what they have going for them here is that you have 5 bachelorettes that you can have 5 different people take control of. So
Yeah.
it's like Brandon is going to be taking control of Jane. I'm going to be taking control of Mary. Anthony's going to take care of Antoinette or whatever. Like, and then each one has to then
Kitty.
we can like pit each other again. Well, we'll fight amongst each other
For
to
those-
kind of get a certain
Suitor, yeah.
bachelor or suitor.
Or we could also just pick
3 different
three
ones.
different suitors
But
would
the
be fun.
problem with that is if you're playing with 5 people, there's only 3, so 2
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
lose.
I wouldn't.
Right.
Also true.
It's definitely. It's gonna be on Steam, and I think because actually I played with a Steam remote, which I haven't done before.
Yeah,
which
Steam
that,
controller.
Steam
that,
controller.
that was a very interesting experience.
Concept
Yeah,
for
it
It's a
was-
good,
yourself,
why is it a
I
good
was like,
control?
I know what this is.
It's hard to kind of get used to.
It's like an Xbox controller, but instead of
Buttons, it's
joysticks,
trigger.
you have the essentially a
touchpad.
touchpad. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. If
Cool.
it's gonna be on Steam, and if it's the right price, I will pick it up, and you should too as well.
Perfect.
Really.
Anthony, you want to
So I'll change it.
change it up for us?
You know, I kind of actually want to
Dirty game.
save your nuts
Yeah, let's talk about this.
because we all
So-
played this.
We all played this. And Save Your Nuts is I guess it's kind of just
Like a
a
ru-
capture the flag game.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the only mode it kind of I think it had was actually that they kind of showed off. I guess for us was this one acorn that kind of drops into a map. It's 2 versus 2 at what we played, I think it was what you
It
Cox?
was me and Cox versus Anthony and a stranger.
Yeah, and you just have to like shoot it into the goal.
And by shooting, you really kind of have to bring it into
Yeah.
the goal. So
Although one time you did shoot into the goal.
Yeah, it rolled in.
yeah, it rolled in. But we played on this map that we're seeing right here. It's a train map that can block you. Like so you're in the middle of a intersection, and this train can literally kill you.
You get K. So if you get hit by the train, I know it. You get KO'd and you can't move for a certain number of time. Like I said, cars is like it's more interactive. Like the cars stop, but the cars can also hit you.
Yep.
Which can prevent you from.
Yeah,
You
and
feel like-
the whole point of the game is to gather 5 acorns into your goal. So we had I played as a wiener dog, and I think Brandon was a squirrel.
I played squirrel.
And then you just have to work together as a team. So I was getting a lot of Rocket League vibes to it, where at first Brandon and I on the blue team, we were just always trying to just grab the nut and put it into the goal.
Well, I was trying to punch.
First, so again, I'm just going to reiterate this. You carried the team, Brian, because I saw the numbers at the end.
Steve,
Four
could
to
you,
one.
Wasn't a strong showing. There,
No,
was, a,
no.
there was a steep learning
No,
curve.
Brian
with these
showed up.
games.
Yeah, Brian showed up.
There
All
was a
right.
steep learning curve of the games. Brian,
Like me
picked
and
up
my
the,
teammate was like he had 3 and I had 2, so it was like it was a balance. But
Yeah.
like
Brian picked up the game as like he was been playing it for like.
Well,
2 and 2. We had 2 and 2.
So I ended up having 4 out of our 5 goals or not saved, but at one I started
Getting the hang of.
getting the hang of it, and not just all right. I was Brandon and I were going after the nut at the same time, but I decided I was like, all right, hey Brandon, I'm gonna go grab the nut. You go towards the goal so I can pass it to you.
Yeah, so he threw. Yeah, he kept
So
throwing
you can
it.
throw it and kind of.
Yeah, it was working together at the end, and then we got hit by the train, and it kind of.
Yeah,
You still
I mean,
won.
it's perfect.
We did
mayhem.
still win, yeah, but-
This is one of those games that demos perfectly at a PAX or any sort of gaming convention whatsoever. But I don't think it's one of those games that you play.
It's got to be online.
It's got to be online,
'Cause
right?
I felt it looked a lot like Rocket League in a way.
Yeah, it felt a lot like Rocket League.
I think
Oh,
kids will
okay.
like this game,
Yeah, I think so too.
but I don't know in terms of like adults picking it up.
Well,
It's gonna.
I
if
think
it's an online, like I said.
I think it's one of those things, and maybe it's just where I'm at in my personal life, but I don't ever play these types of games anymore. Like, I feel like when I was a 10-year-old playing my N64, I would have played this game for hours. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I feel like the couch co-op or the couch like on multiplayer
Local,
game, local multiplayer is kind of dying, and maybe it's because I'm an adult and I don't have friends over every night.
Just have more options for what you can play.
True, I guess, but Save Your Nuts is really fun to play. I didn't think.
It's fun to say too.
Yeah, I think so. You're allowed to attack each other
you can knock them.
and knock them out and take the nut away, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like you could never really tell when you hit somebody or when you didn't.
Correct. Yeah, I remember it's like the squirrel. Like it didn't seem to do much. Like I didn't know who had control because like the game never showed you. It didn't change colors based on like who had the nut. It was always red, and it's just
That
like
would've
I
been
don't know if
helpful.
you had it. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got it, and I just ran to the goal, and I
Yeah.
realized.
Plus, it's bouncing all over the screen, especially like when you get hit by something.
No,
Yeah.
but you can tell when he throws it because the shadow appears
Yeah, there's like a
underneath.
little under-
So I thought that was cool.
Because
But
that's the trouble I had following the nut.
yeah,
That we all.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But it's fun to play for sure, and it's definitely like a great let's play. So I could see us trying to do that
Yes.
in the future. But
If you can get a code for it.
no, hey, we'll see. I'll
Work your
reach,
magic.
it might be free.
I'll reach out
I actually
to,
don't remember if he said it was free.
A lot,
scale games.
A lot of these games are Steam. So
yeah, lots
It's
of
the
Steam
starting
stuff.
point. It's a lot of it's Steam and Switch
yeah,
now for indie
before this, I didn't realize how easy it was to get onto Steam. Not saying that
It's easy
because
to
they
get
accept
onto
they accept
Steam.
everything.
but obviously, I can see why there's such a high turnover for Steam games.
All right, moving on. I spoke with Kent Willis over at Stone Lantern Games, and we are talking about Evergate. So Evergate is a puzzle platforming game that reminds me a lot of Ori and the Blind Forest. However, what you're doing in this game is you're jumping and shooting crystals to then get you to a higher platform. So you'll have to, as you can see on the screen here, you just kind of have to aim, shoot a crystal to like a white orb. So you have to shoot through a crystal to get to a white orb, and those things will push your character back or elevate them and things like that. So it's a unique puzzle platformer that I had a little bit of trouble with towards the end.
The mechanic of the roots, because you died. I noticed you tried the you
the
hit
red crystal one.
Yeah, so you did the white crystal first, then tried to shoot the red one, and it didn't work, and you died. And then I remember you just trying to shoot the red one individually.
Yeah,
like this was the level, I believe.
Yeah, I was just having a difficult time, but the game plays amazingly. Like that's what I needed to do. So I didn't get that. But the game is a lot of fun, and I can absolutely see myself picking this game up full price. This is like a Brian game through and through.
And they're local too.
And they're local. They're actually from the same town same city that we're from. So we'll probably get Kent on at some point. We also did an interview. The game is coming in 2019 to Steam. But we did an interview that should be up on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/pixelatedpoints. So you guys will be able to see the interview there with Kent.
So I mean, this was the second one?
No, it just looks like it, right? So the logo, and you have that logo here,
yeah, it
right?
looked like the two.
So right here, we got a card. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Evergate, but there's like this little kind of gate right here that makes it look like a Roman numeral 2.
Yeah.
It's a little
confusing.
Yeah, I thought it was Evergate 2, but I hope it's not. I hope it's just Evergate, because if it's Evergate 2 and we've just been calling it Evergate,
I think it's just Evergate.
He didn't, because he didn't correct us. So
I think the gate is
might have just been nice. I mean,
he could have been nice and been like, this fucking idiot. But yeah, that was one of the games that I would say was the best for me. That's probably up there. That's probably 1 or 2 for me.
I got a game that me and Brian played.
Oh, this was a fun game.
It's called Temple Scramble.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So
and all right, a little bit tough game, but
I mean,
it's
whose perspective?
it's on the PC.
November 9th is coming out.
You can play online or couch co-op with 2 players.
Not true.
What?
You can only do local co-op. You can't do online.
But when the game releases, they can do online.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I thought he did.
Did he say it?
That's you said in the car.
All right.
Did you lie to me in the car?
I might have lied to you in the car. Anyways,
so from our perspective, for right now, it's couch co-op 2-player. Now,
And
the 2-player, you play different characters. So you play. Steve, you mind taking it down so I can read?
So you play as Indira.
Indira, and I cannot pronounce the tomb. You're playing the tomb. It's Phalanx.
Yeah, Fulix and
Yeah.
Indira.
So Indira is on the keyboard, and Phalanx is the tomb, and you essentially or the mouse, and you essentially are playing against each other. So Indira is trying to find like treasure and stuff like that, while the tomb is trying to block her from getting the treasure.
Or kill her.
Either way, we'll get either Indira
someone's got to win.
The tomb points, right?
So I was playing as Indira. So from Indira's
I was playing as the
perspective,
tomb.
you're just moving with the keyboard, ASDW or whatever the fuck that is, and spacebar, and you're moving her around this. So what we're seeing on the screen here is the bridge level. So you can see like the trees underneath these tiles, and if you fall and you die, and that gives the tomb, Phalanx, points. But as Indira, you're trying to collect as much treasure as possible. So it's like the first to 5 points. And
just the meter fills up.
So Indira's big thing is she can build. So it depends on the level. So if she's playing, you're not really going to get much.
That was not a good
So I just click on the image again. It doesn't really matter. But if you're, there you go. So if you're playing as, Indira, you can get rid of spikes, or you can build bridges, or you can get rid of boulders by just pressing the space button like 3 times, and it kind of destroys them. But as the tomb, Phalanx, you can build these things, and there's different tiles on the floor. So if you put 3 tiles in a row, it'll, for this one, for example, this is the bridge level, it'll drop a bunch of tiles. So if Indira's standing on one of those, she's going to fall and die.
And the way they described it was like a half platformer, half puzzle game.
Yeah.
All right. And I can see that.
Also, the platforming.
Well,
it's a
as
little...
Indira, you're kind of platforming because my puzzles are destroying your platform, so you kind of have to move around.
Yeah.
But it's a 1.
Yeah, it's not like a platform. It's more of just
A platform.
Yeah.
This is how it was advertised
Yeah.
to me.
But so as Phalanx, Brendan, did you find it difficult to put tiles together and switch tiles?
Yeah, because you were moving super fast, and I was trying to anticipate your moves.
And I was trying to anticipate your traps.
Plus, the mouse was moving slower. So when you have the mouse, it's like a little like steam
the
thing,
sensitivity of
and
it
it was just like
It was
I
moving
was
too
like,
slow.
and I was like, come on, and while you were just like, and I was like,
You couldn't do anything.
you know. And then I realized I could destroy the treasure, so that I was trying to destroy the treasure faster than
Then I was getting to it.
you like killing you. And then I realized on one level I can kill you very easily, so I was just killing you like left and right.
But you never.
You
won.
probably killed me like 3 times in the entire time in the 7 games that we
I dropped
played.
boulders on you.
But you
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
won.
But
that
you
was
never
the
won.
last game, but you never won.
No, I did not win one.
But the game is a lot of fun, and it is one of those like this would be a great let's play. The game's coming out on Steam November 9th, so definitely go check out Temple Scramble. I had a blast with it.
Yeah.
I screamed a few times
When I crushed your boulders.
when you finally killed me with a boulder, for sure.
You figure out how to murder
Yeah.
innocent bystanders.
Anthony, you got anything for us?
I'll do a game we played together. Actually,
Yeah.
we'll do Scorcery.
Yeah, Scorcery.
This is also a multiplayer game.
Yep. It is a little weird, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. Like I said before, it's hectic. There was a little bit of trouble, like kind of figuring out what was going on. So, if you can see, if not, you have a listener. But there's 2 rows on each side of like temple heads, and you have to knock the opponents. Like you shoot the ball, and you have to like kill each particular like head.
Yeah.
The problem I kind of had was like, so they added the aspect of like gravity,
Yeah.
so you can switch from up and down of the map.
So you can stand on the ceiling or you can stand on the floor. And it's side scrolling for the audio listeners that can't see it. But I also felt trying to grab the ball. I just felt like I was like, oh, I'm on the ball. I'm pressing the grab button. And it's just not working.
Because they can, like you said, it's so confined that I don't know, like if they were stealing the ball from me as I had it held, or I lost the ball.
Yeah, the gameplay is I think the characters are too big. So the map, it just seems like the map that you're playing on is so constricted to what it needs to be. So I was thinking it was going to be more of like a Super Smash, zoomed further away, that you have a bigger map to check out. But that really wasn't the case. The case was it was
condensed.
It was just so close to what you were doing that, especially with 4 players, we were just on top of each other the whole game.
I agree with just watching that. It looks like the equivalent of like a large print book.
Like this isn't necessary, but
yeah, it's just like way too close.
They could also have more characters, right?
Yeah, well, again, I don't know when the game's coming out or anything like that.
They only had what, 2 characters?
No, there was 3.
But you can also pick your like the special thing was also pretty interesting because there's what 6 or 7 specials.
Yeah, there was like 6 or 7 different specials that you could do. So I picked one because what I thought was going to happen was I thought it was going to be more of like
a key.
What's that game? Pyre. It was. I live streamed it a little while ago. I thought it was going to be. I picked up like the faster speed. And that
I could see that. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be better, but it's not the case. It just kind of felt too
generic.
No, because it doesn't feel generic.
It's different.
It's just it is different. It's just it needs to be further back, and the characters need to be smaller so you can like jump around and stuff.
But more of like the control wise as well. I remember hitting that last fucking thing was
that last idol. Hitting that last idol, it was difficult to do.
It's like playing beer pong. You're trying to get that one.
This is a beta, right? So they're trying to like work out the kinks.
Yeah.
But everything I believe, like most of these are 2019.
Yeah, most of these are like
that's
early
coming up.
2019.
We're in late 2018. So
that's true.
Thanks.
It is coming soon
calendar.
to the PS4, but there are different characters that you can choose from. I think Anthony, you played as.
I was going to pick the Necromancer.
Yeah, and then I picked like a
Sauron.
I don't even know what her
It's like
name
a ninja
was.
chick.
No, Matilda.
Matilda.
Might be Matilda.
I really do not know.
Yeah,
what
nothing.
I was watching. I was just like, this is weird, and
I just think that it was too cluttered on the screen. Like you didn't have.
It seemed like the game didn't know what it wanted to be. There's a lot of elements from different games, and it was just like, what are you doing? Like what?
So
It had it had the Rocket League vibe, and then it had like what's the game from like Cliffy B that failed? Lawbreakers with the gravity thing going on, and then
I just felt like
it looked like Pong.
Well, yeah, it does look
Actually,
like Pong,
yeah.
but if you could zoom in Pong
with
with
Middle
just
Earth characters.
hectic
Yeah.
things happening all at once, and not to mention like the specials that you had, right? So it was like a beam that slowed your opponents down. So if you were stuck in the beam, but the beam took up like a fourth of the. I would even say like a third of the screen.
It didn't. The specials didn't do much in the factory, like especially like the speed one because it was so like. Quicker.
I couldn't move any faster.
But I kept passing the ball. Like you'd pass the ball if you used it because it was so small of a screen.
Yeah, my biggest thing was it needs to be zoomed out to give you more space to do stuff because it was just so like
Frenetic.
Yeah, we're just very lucky to win.
Yeah, well, like I said, you got the winning shot.
Well,
sometimes winning is
I
tough.
couldn't hit the.
I don't
I
like
couldn't
to
hit the
toot
fucking,
my own horn, but
it was split
sometimes
though. We actually
sometimes
hit the same
winning
amount
is tough.
Sometimes
People
winning
don't
is
realize
tough.
how tough winning is.
Some people
you
never
have a winner, you have a
experience that,
loser. You have a 50-50 shot.
Sometimes
That's not how it works.
Sometimes you
I
just
think so.
beat
That's
somebody
math.
so
It's
bad.
50-50.
Yeah, winners
Well,
or
you
losers.
just suck so bad, like he's just that much better than
Well,
you.
those are tough games, right?
All right, let's move
I only
on.
didn't win on a 50-50%.
Let's move on to Feral Frontier.
Okay.
So, this game was a side-scrolling platforming game that had a lot of kind of, I don't know, Fox and Forest vibes, the game that we played at PAX East. The game looks totally fine. It looks like your typical pixel art type of game. The game was gameplay was a little rough, especially for being a puzzle platforming game. But you also have elements like you have a sword and you can pick up like shotgun beams or whatever, or laser beams and things like that.
Some
And you can
bombs.
kind of dash through. But the platforming elements of it just didn't feel
He
as
seemed like
smooth as it needed to be.
Like
It
the
felt-
double jump, and he had like a little like parachute.
Yeah, like the double jump didn't necessarily work the way that it should have. It almost felt as if, hey Brandon, can you grab me a beer? Oh yeah. Thanks, bud. Yeah.
Greg.
Oh look, I didn't know how to fucking do that. Like I tried picking up that shell like multiple
kept getting
times,
damaged, right?
and I just kept getting hit by it, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And the double jump just didn't. Like this looks.
This looks fluid.
This looks so much more fluid than the actual gameplay that I was playing. Thank you, man.
What?
What?
I was just saying how fluid this video looks in comparison to the game that I played.
Well, I said it looked like Celeste, but I was wrong.
No, it does.
it does.
look like Celeste. It doesn't play like.
But to be honest with you,
Actually, kind of. Yeah.
looking at the screen now, it looks a lot rougher. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a recording of a recording of a recording.
No, this is what the game looked like.
Okay, yeah.
I think you might have just were there and you
just rose-colored glasses. Just...
Maybe.
What you were doing?
But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I could see myself playing it, but I don't think I would. It would never be one of those games that I.
Yeah.
It would
So you said you'd play the Fox and
Fox and Forest
Fox and
Hounds for sure. I
Such
just
a
don't
sad
think.
movie, really.
I just Fox and Hounds, yeah. I just don't think that. I mean, it's a fun game. Like I had fun playing it, but I just don't see myself enjoying it as much as other games. You know what I mean? If I had unlimited time and unlimited funds, maybe I would play this game, but I don't, and I think that there are better options out there. And again, I do have to like temper my expectations. It is an indie festival game, and I knew what I was getting into, but I think the reason why I'm being so harsh on this is because I want it to be better. Right?
Well,
it looks like it has potential, and I just want it to be better.
you saw it picked out, and you're like, this looks interesting, and it did.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I want it to be better. But
Yeah, we could do it.
that's from Dirty Beast Games, so you can check them out at Dirty Beast Games on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry, Cox.
Yep.
What do you got?
I got the first game we played,
Oh, okay.
Pilot Unknown.
Yep. So unfortunately, we don't have any video for this. So it's a top-down twin stick shooter.
Yes, out of somewhat local, out of guys from WPI, Worcester Polytechnic Institute, which is out of Worcester, Mass.
But they're from Vermont, and then they're going to school down here.
There you go. And I liked it, and this was a game I did good at. Essentially, you're in
Did you beat the first level?
Did you beat the first level?
Yeah.
Brian crushed it.
I crushed the first level, and I was like, all right, we're done.
The guy even
actually-
I was watching him play, and the guy's like, he almost beat the whole thing.
So I saw the boss, and I just left. It was
Wow,
a giant robot with saw blades, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be here. That's just...
I went on full blast, and I took it out.
So you're in a space base.
You actually, I think he said one level away from, I think beating.
Well, yeah,
The
there's
demo? Yeah, of course.
There's,
Of course.
I think there was. He
What,
said that
5
there
minutes
was
in
going to
there?
be 8 games.
50-50.
Sorry, 8 worlds or like levels, and they're all procedurally generated. So think of like Binding of Isaac, where you can just kind of go through each level, and you're like, oh, we took this door to the left, that brings you to this next room, and things like that.
Although
So,
I got into space. Did you get into space?
you can go out of the space station and kind of like go into space. Yeah. I felt like the controls were slightly icy, if you will.
I saw
There's
that, but I
responsive
think the reason they were icy was because of the anti-gravity.
Okay.
So you're kind of flying through there, and in order to propel yourself, you were kind of
Like shooting, but also
jettisoning
jetting.
yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being
So
able to
I could
kick
see
back.
why. To be honest with you, I preferred it kind of being a little stiff and not just like free floating, especially when you're trying to shoot. Because you want to shoot with some precision, you can't do that while you're just kind of floating in space.
And I feel like going back to Swim Sanity, it didn't feel like you were in control of your shots.
Or that mechanic wasn't an inconvenience.
Bingo.
Yeah, I felt there was more gravity in Pilot Unknown than there was Swim Sanity. Swim Sanity, I was swimming all over the
It
place.
still is two different like mechanics though. Like I mean,
Sure, yeah, but I mean, imagine from a game development standpoint, I imagine you trying to simulate space and under the
never been
water,
on the moon.
are very similar.
how do you
right?
know?
I don't. Do you know what, Brendan? I've never been to the moon.
Have we ever been to the moon?
No. So how do you know? Gravity?
But
I want to believe.
I know you do.
I liked it. Would
would you buy it
Yeah, that's the key.
Would I buy it?
for $5?
Sure, yeah.
You'd buy it for $5
On Steam?
Really?
Yeah.
So when it comes out, we're gonna remind you that it's out.
Do you say it was $5?
I don't know how much it is, but I would say, me personally, I wasn't too hot on it. I think there's a lot of twin stick shooters.
Well, you
and I
already-
don't think it does anything.
You already beat the game, so why would you be hot on it? You're just like, oh.
I don't think it does anything to stand out
No, but
to me.
it does what it does, and it does what it needs to do, and it it checks all the boxes.
Is that what
Fair
you
enough.
say about yourself?
The next game that we're going to talk about is called Beat 'em.
Oh
And
yeah.
Beat 'em was a game that Anthony and I played, and it is a rhythm-based like synth shooter. So it's
Is it?
twins. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
twin
so
stick.
Let's
So
break it down.
so you can hold the left analog stick to move, but only to the beat of the song. So if it's like poof 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 poof, every time you hear that beat,
You can move.
you can move your character. So, but you're also shooting and aiming at the same time,
yeah.
and there's also like
little obstacles. In
little
the same-
obstacles
it's like
in the
Pong.
way.
Those are two.
It's very similar to like Geometry Wars meets Pong, kinda. It's very weird.
and you can take multiple. I know it's like multiple hits, so someone can
So
steal
it's
your kill.
yeah, it's 3. Well, your health bar is at the bottom here. So you can see that the green has 1 health left. So if he gets shot again, he's dead. All right. So now he's dead. Yeah, and then you respawn. But the purpose of the game is within the 2 or 3 minutes that you're playing, you kill as many people as possible. Anthony was fucking kill
All right,
stealing.
so
we were playing
I gotta
against
admit,
a little kid.
I gotta admit, I was pretty fucking ruthless on
Yeah.
this because I knew I could move on the countdown screen. I literally just went right beside him, and the second hit one, I just fired. And it was sudden death. By the
Yeah,
way, so
you
it's
were
a one-
playing a 6-year-old, and
Dude,
Anthony,
it's
like,
fucking on.
got,
I had to get my win for the
got
day.
right next to him. And
I
just
couldn't
like,
let Cox get.
50-50, man.
It was a
50-50.
one shot, dude. It's not 50-50. That was planning. I
Wait,
knew
did
what
you
I was.
not vote?
Me?
I
no,
didn't,
Anthony
I didn't
didn't
vote. I didn't honestly.
Nothing tickled your fancy?
To swayed me that much. No, not really.
Really?
I didn't vote either.
I didn't feel like.
What did you vote for, Brandon?
I voted for
Oh, dude.
Austin,
We should
Yep.
probably explain what we're talking about.
Well,
Yes.
and I voted for a game we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, so these tickets that they give out is for like an audience. They do an award show afterwards,
Which is right now.
which is happening right now, but we're recording. So you can vote by they give you 2 tickets and you put those into the best games of the show. So I gave mine to Evergate and a game that we haven't talked about yet. But
yeah, I wasn't.
you wasn't
No, I mean,
wasn't tickled by anything.
most of the co-op stuff is more of like you need 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I said last year, Quest would have been the one.
For you?
Yeah. This
Really,
year,
I'm just surprised that nothing got you going.
nothing really stood out.
So, do you have another game that you want to talk about?
Well, we all played Slain, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
did.
we played Slain. Let's talk about that.
Man, Slain 2, by the way.
Yeah, so this is Slain 2 from Pixel Liquor.
Which is the other one I voted for.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Really? You played that for like I didn't even think you were enjoying it. You died.
I was
I
concentrating.
beat that boss. Dude, the team was brought down.
I
because
am
of
not good at games.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you from arguing. So Slayer 2 or Slayin' 2 is the sequel to the mobile game Slayin', which we talked about here on the podcast, and that was a big game for a long time. So you're basically just going left and right on one plane and killing enemies. But the enemies will start to jump, so if you literally just walk into them. So you don't press a button or anything.
Oh,
You
that's
just
how you do
walk or jump.
I told you square.
So
I
they
press-
really just
press
have
the
to...
square.
Well, yeah, the bar has to be.
Yeah. So and then there's a special weapon that you can, or a special thing that you can hit square, and it shoots an attack out, so you can take rid of the whole or get rid of the whole plane.
Also, can we say when they're translucent, can you not damage them?
Brennan, I'm not
No,
100% sure.
It's not that was the boss, right?
No. That was things too.
No, I
Enemies.
think it meant it was done on different,
Anyways,
like as it was jumping.
so
yeah, I
you
don't
can and that was the original Slayin'. Slayin' 2 now has two a foreground and a background.
Planes.
You can jump in between these two planes. Thank you, Brendan. Yeah. And and it's also online co-op and local co-op as well. So I was playing as like the ninja. Anthony was playing as the knight, and Anthony
did
was
this-
kind of taking.
Actually, I did
took
the
the top.
sorceress to mix it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I did the bottom one, and we were just kind of taking care of each other. And then we ended up fighting a boss, and kind of. I felt
won.
like I didn't realize that you had to use your special in order to hit the
that
boss.
correct.
Because I was just running into him. I'm like, oh, I'm doing damage.
Well,
And the guy was
yeah.
like, no, you're taking
no.
damage.
The boss we fought.
That's why I died.
No.
Oh, the different boss you
let's
fought?
let's roll back here.
Okay.
That boss was like you died because you sucked. I'm just gonna
Apparently
point
you
that
died
out.
because you
Wait, me or him?
He could be hit by
I
normal
lived.
attacks.
Okay.
Okay.
You kept walking into him.
Yeah, I was damaging him. He was
Yeah, but
bl-
you can't like
he was
you
blinking
can't
him.
go through him.
Yeah.
Well,
So you get a pull.
it was touch and go. I was going through.
You gotta-
and
It's
I
a
was
learning
go-
experience. I'll give you that. But come on,
I had fire magic. I should have chose wind magic.
didn't do anything.
Anyways, so Slayin' 2 is slated to come out early summer of next year. They're saying it's coming to mobile. They want to bring it to consoles, which the first one was just a mobile game, and it was one of my favorite mobile games. I would say I played a lot of it.
High-end shooter classic.
It was It was
Might
yeah.
be the original.
It might be
I
the
almost wanted you to
original.
say that to him.
Oh no! Well, we're doing an interview with.
They seem like nice people.
We did an interview with. I want to say his name is Tom from Pixel Liquor,
It was.
and
Hell
that'll
of a
be
name.
up.
Hell of a name for a company.
Pixel Liquor.
Yeah.
I want to say this too. I think about the Fig. Seemed like a lot of husband and wife
Combos.
Yeah.
combos for
Yep.
games. I
Passion
thought that
projects,
was,
man.
But that was that wasn't the case
No.
in previous years. I don't
The
remember
only
that.
other case I can think of is Perception, which was there this year
But she
as
knew.
well.
But she knew nothing of the development.
Well, what was a
of-
brother sister team?
Oh, okay.
Well, we
Yeah,
haven't-
that's true.
The Temple.
That was,
Temple-
but we
Temple
we haven't-
Scramble team.
Yeah. Oh, we
Well,
already
actually, no,
talked
because
about-
last year when you did the board tabletop, that was a husband.
Takeout was husband and wife as well.
Oh.
was it?
Yeah, that's husband and wife.
Maybe that
Oh.
it could be just passion
Hey,
projects.
yeah,
that they-
couples that play together.
No, I
stay
just thought it was
together, man.
funny because it was
Yeah.
way more noticeable.
It seemed like there was lots of like family projects there.
Yeah.
Because there was also a son and like a
And
son
father,
who
yeah.
was like 6 years old that did the art for it, and the father did all the programming.
Oh, I didn't
that's
catch that
cool.
one.
Yeah, that's like a cool family project. Do you have any other games or?
I think we
The
have
last one-
The last one.
which you love the shit. out of.
I love this game.
did look.
It's called Super Chrome, and it is
well, Super Chrome what?
Bullet Purgatory. So it's a bullet hell game that is very reminiscent of Galaga. And so on screen right now, you're just seeing a bunch of bullets flying all over the place, and you can dash through these bullets, and you're just shooting straight up, and you can slowly start, getting better lasers, and you can use like a charge shot or a bomb shot. But the idea of the game is to just not get hit. So it's a one-shot kill. So if you get hit, you die. And I think it just
You get a
comes
life.
in waves.
You have lives too.
Yeah, very similar to
Yeah.
Galaga. So like
He
Galaga,
did.
you
He
get-
called it a love letter to Galaga.
Well, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for
But
the
what
interview.
really kind of has me by the balls is the gameplay, because it's perfect.
Well, and the style. You like the art style.
Well, the art style is
It's a
it,
neo-
it,
was
does,
weird,
it
though.
does what it needs to do, right?
well.
It-
That's
it-
what I told Josh.
It's a neon outline.
Who's
Of,
the developer? Yeah, it's a neon outline of a ship. Like you don't need anything. You don't need any other fancy type of thing. It's just perfect for what it is. It reminds me of Asteroids. It looks like a souped up version of Asteroids meets Galaga.
And he had kind of a mom and pop project,
Well, it's him.
It's him, and
brother.
he had a friend who did music in New York.
Yep.
And then he had another guy doing the art.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a 3-man team.
Well, yeah, he was doing he said he was doing the art in the
He was doing the art, okay.
but there is another person there. I think that I don't know what that person does, but it's a very small game. He said he's bringing it to Steam for sure, but his hope is to bring it to Switch. And I think
really
this is a perfect Switch game, simply because it's very quick. Once you die, you get right back in. There's no waiting around. Like, you kind of get in, see how far you can go, and it's kind of like a horde mode type of thing. Yeah. Thank you. So you can go check him out at StumpheadJosh on Twitter or supercrow.me.
Super hot.
So SUPERCRO.me.
So I think
Chrome spells Chrome.
surprised me the most about this was your reaction to the game. Because I didn't think you'd like it. Are you
he was a big.
were you?
He got it.
Were you? Oh, what were you?
I was a big Ikaruga fan. Yeah, I'm a big shoot 'em up like bullet hell guy.
I was.
I thought you
I was
weren't for some
surprised
reason.
when you saw it. You were like a dog. You just went right to it. And
Well,
you're
yeah,
just
it's
like, wow,
because
this is great. And
I
was just
saw
like,
the
what's going-
gameplay.
like-
I saw the gameplay and I knew that played well.
It felt like
and it was smooth, right?
it played
was smooth,
or not played because I didn't play it. It looked a lot like either like neon chalk on a chalkboard.
Oh, Chalk Zone, like the
Like something like that. Like I just
Well, I
remembered
mean,
the colors,
it's
Yeah, the
just,
neon.
and I'm colorblind.
It's a black.
so-
It's a black background.
but
in
it's
space.
but
the enemies
neon,
are like Space Invaders are
Yeah.
just bright colored, and you are just a white ship.
He had
a
a-
bunch of different
or like a
colored
light
bullets.
bright
He definitely had a
maybe.
vision in
Distinctive
mind what he
bosses,
wanted,
too.
and
He did have like wave bosses. So the first one was very Andros. He had like two hands
Oh,
and
it's
then a
definitely
face.
Andros, yeah.
And then there was another one that was like two giant eyes.
Didn't he make mention? You brought it up, and he goes, "We didn't notice that at first,
turned-
but
yeah,
then
and
after someone says something to him, he goes,
Yeah.
"Yep."
Yeah, it's very.
But I thought that was funny because I go, I would probably,
Yeah.
I would know that.
And I had asked him if he wants to do a
Might be
story
too
mode,
young,
but he said he was like,
I don't know how old
like
he-
story
yeah.
mode would be one of those things that we would love to do, but we don't know if we can fit it all in. But he was like, I would want to do like 5 to 10 levels with like a short little story. And I was like, so similar to like a Star Fox, and he was like, yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
for
so I
what
remember
we're looking
talking to
for.
him.
And yeah, because all those levels were like, I wouldn't say procedurally generated, but they're like,
Yeah, they feel procedurally generated.
there was something about that he said that was more random than
Yeah,
that
so
I
it's
thought.
he would have to then kind of rework it to do a story. So, yeah, I don't know. I was a huge fan of Super Chrome. That was one of the games that I gave my ticket to. That and Evergate. I just felt like those were the two strongest games that I played that I enjoyed the most. I think that Swim Sanity
was good.
really, really good. I think that'll be
the winner.
I think that'll be the talk of the show is Swim Sanity, but it wasn't my favorite that I played for sure.
There's a lot of games with potential,
I think all of the games have potential
Yeah.
for sure.
and
I mean, I think every one we've talked about.
yeah.
Yeah,
why we selected them.
Basically
that's why
does.
we stopped at them. Like things that we weren't really interested in, we didn't stop and play.
But I actually feel like just walking around that a lot of the games looked good.
Yeah.
Like nothing looked
Nothing looked like trash.
like, or just that, it's like a demo.
Yeah.
Everything
they were
looked.
seeing much further along
they couldn't
than
get on
normally.
Steam.
Like the first Fig we went to.
So the first Fig that we went to, and even some of the like last year, there was lots of like, oh, this is rough. Like this is
One of them said it was
pre-alpha
just a
stuff.
project. It was just a project that he needed to do for like MIT. So he's just like, oh, I'm not gonna. He's like, I'm not gonna follow up on this.
Yeah, and then they ended up finishing it. But there's lots of like a lot of it is student projects, but I think it's slowly starting to become, hey, we're small indie devs and we do this in our spare
like,
time, and this is what
Family
we want to
hobbies, which was the weirdest.
do. I don't think it's weird. I just think it.
Not
it-
weird, but you like when you think game developer, you don't think like a mom and like literally a mom and pop.
But I like that.
Yeah, I'm a big
Yeah.
fan
I
of that
like
as well.
that.
I know, yeah. I mean,
If
the industry is going that direction where it's just you know,
it's-
it's
Industry
like,
is
you don't have
acceptable,
mom and pop
yeah.
shops, but now you got mom and pop
game developer.
game shops.
make a good game, you make
It's
a good
kind
game.
of
Devs.
it's like kind of full circle in a way.
I think my favorite thing about going to Fig is
The Newmans. The
Newmans. No,
The Fig Newmans, yeah.
is the new ideas that you see. You know what I mean? Because these are games that people want to make these games.
Yeah.
It's not like a company goes, we need to make another Assassin's Creed. We need to do this. It's
Well,
I want to make
not
this.
terrible.
I want to make this type of game, and it's always
Really?
it's something new, and maybe it's not original, but it's something. There's refreshing games that you play that you're like, okay,
Because there's no big.
yeah, there's no big kind of. There's like that Austin translation game. Like that's a fun, great little.
It's an interesting idea. Yeah.
But I don't think I wouldn't be a huge fan of playing it.
No.
But like Temple Scramble, like
Yeah.
I would have never. I think that's genius. One person play on a keyboard, the other one plays on a mouse, and then you pit them against each other. I think that's a great idea, and you don't really see that with big name games. And again,
It's a hard learning curve, too.
I understand why, but
Actually, with Temple Scramble, did he
tough.
only say PC?
yeah,
He did, yes.
it's only PC.
That game would be fascinating with
Switch.
a Switch
Switch.
with the 2 Joy-Cons.
yeah, yeah,
Like that's perfect. Like that game would probably fucking kill it.
yeah, for sure. Because you can technically point,
Yeah.
You can,
and then the other person can hold it sideways.
Or you can just use the joystick and move
and move
the
as a mouse.
the like nav.
Yeah.
Oh, you could.
So you
Yeah,
just
the
you do
little-
this,
yeah,
and
the
then
wireless.
you click. Yeah,
And I think that game.
I really do think that
You're
would
not
do
wrong.
well on Switch.
You're
but
not wrong.
Well, they do well on Steam, and a lot of them like indie.
Well, yeah, and then they go to Switch.
yeah, so I'm hoping.
Switch is like the console indie.
Yeah, it's the
system.
indie console at this
it
point, yeah.
Really.
But any other final closing thoughts on Fig? I mean, I really enjoyed it this
I
year.
did. I thought it was a cool
It's always
thing.
a cool.
It was. I don't know if we met. It was the biggest.
It
been.
was definitely the most populated it's been.
Yeah.
It's 2 floors. The top floor is all digital. The bottom is all tabletop card games and board games. But we don't really cover that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I liked the people. They seemed very down to earth and very, very open with their ideas and like, yeah, man, thanks. I'm glad you liked the game. Very humble.
The best part about it is you get to, like, there isn't that huge, like, PAX is like, sometimes you don't always get to talk to the people.
Yeah.
yeah, you just
Like,
kind of.
they're very open to anything, no matter how small.
And
we
yeah,
may be.
every developer is very grateful when like.
Oh, you're from the media? Oh, this is cool.
The praise is unexpected to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I was really talking up Super Chrome because I really did enjoy
Yeah.
it. And Josh, the dev, was just like so.
He's not. I was talking to him. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was just so down to earth and like very, very thankful for things. And it was funny. At one point, I had told him, I was like, "You may notice something so minuscule, but everyone else here has no idea." And I was like, "You are your worst critic, your harshest critic." And I was like singing its glory or singing its glory.
Sing his praise.
Yeah, and he was just
Both
so
were.
thankful. He was so thankful for any compliment or feedback that I gave him.
Yeah.
And the guy from Evergate,
Yeah.
you were like, man, it's like just like Ori and the Blind Forest. And you're like,
Whoa,
wow, that's
whoa,
a really
we know
thanks,
each
man. That's a
other.
really great compliment.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
because I said I was like, it's very similar.
Oh, he
it
lit up
reminds
when
me,
you said that.
It reminds me
Yeah.
of Ori and the Blind Forest, and it feels like that way. It's not, and like the game plays well, so it just immediately I think of that, and he, like you said, he lit up when I said that during the interview, which you can go watch over on youtube.com/pixelatedpoints. But yeah, I really enjoyed Fig this year. I hope next year we have a little bit bigger of a presence there, and maybe do some fun stuff there. We'll talk about that later. But I think for now, that's going to be it for our Boston Fig 2018 coverage. I hope you guys like what you saw. And if you guys have any questions about any of the games that we had talked about and you can't find them on the interwebs, drop us a line and I'll kind of point you in the right direction. You can do that on Twitter because that's definitely the best place to do that for me. I am at It'sAMeBT. Anthony, you are.
At Margin Erebus.
And Brandon, you are.
at bcox1776.
And the podcast is at PXLPTS, or sorry, at tangent_podcast and PXLPTS. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.
On the tangent.
Podcast.